Good day po sa lahat. This is Fiscal EJ. Veteran constitutional litigator Attorney Ernesto Francisco strongly defends the new Supreme Court decision. Pero may mga punto sa kanyang pahayag na kailangan nating busisiin. So tit for tat tayo ngayon. Ipaparinig natin ang punto niya tapos ibibigay ko ang counterpoint.
How did the House not follow the Francisco ruling? To your mind, go ahead.
Yes, because what the House should have done is that when the first impeachment complaint was filed on December 2, 2024 by citizens and endorsed by a member of the House, what the Secretary General should have done was to refer it right away on the following day or even on the same day, December 2 or December 3, to the Speaker. And that impeachment complaint should have been referred to the Committee on Rules so that it can be included right away in the order of business. The House did not do that. The House, until a second and third impeachment complaints were filed on December 4 and December 19, 2024, and the Secretary General continued to sit on this impeachment complaint.
May counterpoint. Pero malinaw sa saligang batas, may 10 session days ang House para isama sa order of business ang anumang impeachment complaint, whether ito man ay first, second, o third complaint. At yan mismo ang ginawa ng House. Noong February 5, ang ika-10th session day, isinama nila sa order of business ang tatlong complaints. Ang Korte Suprema mismo, sa page 64 ng kanilang desisyon, sinabi na nakapag-comply ang House sa 10 session day requirement ng konstitusyon. Ito po ang sinabi ng Supreme Court. The inclusion in the order of business of the first 3 impeachment complaints on February 5, 2025 is still within the 10 session days as required under the Constitution and the House Rules on Impeachment. Now, kung pasok sa 10 days, paano naging grave abuse of discretion? Walang nakalagay sa konstitusyon na dapat agad-agad ilagay sa order of business the day after the filing. Kung ganun pala ang requirement, then why would the Constitution provide for 10 session days if the House will not be allowed to put it on the order of business on the 10th session day? Tandaan natin na may exclusive power ang House to initiate all cases of impeachment. While it is true na walang discretion ang House kung ilalagay ba o hindi sa order of business, may discretion sila kung kailan nila ilalagay sa order of business sa loob ng 10 session days. Pwedeng sa first day, third day o kahit sa 10th day. Basta pasok sa deadline, hindi po yan grave abuse of discretion.
I expect that as a citizen, it is my right to file an impeachment complaint, and once endorsed by a member of the House has to act on it right away. The House, the Speaker, the Secretary General, they have absolutely no discretion to sit on an impeachment complaint filed by a citizen and duly endorsed by a member of the House.
May counterpoint. Hindi totoo na na-violate ang karapatan ng mga complainants. The fact is, pinayagan silang mag-file ng verified complaints at malinaw ito sa ginawa ng Secretary General na tinanggap at inacknowledge ang kanilang filings. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila hinarang o pinagkaitan ng karapatang magsampa ng kaso. Pero pagkatapos ng filing at endorsement, wala silang karapatan to demand as a matter of right na dapat agad-agad itong ilagay sa order of business. To reiterate, malinaw sa konstitusyon na may 10 session days ang House para ilagay ito sa order of business. Within that period, the House has the discretion kung aling session day ito ilalagay. Pwedeng unang araw, kalagitnaan, o ika-10th day. Basta pasok sa loob ng prescribed 10 session days, wala pong paglabag sa karapatan ng complainants at lalong hindi ito grave abuse of discretion.
What do you then think about members of the House, Attorney Francisco, who said that if that is the case then unahan na lang kung sinong mag-file because that essentially sets the clock in motion. Your thoughts?
It's not true, Carmina. If we look at the provision of the Constitution carefully and examine the House rules of impeachment, after the impeachment complaint is included in the order of business, the House as a body, as a plenary, has 3 session days to refer it to the Committee on Justice. What does that mean? It's during these 3 session days that the House is supposed to conduct a deliberation. This was missed by almost everyone criticizing the decision of the Supreme Court. Now, during these 3 session days, they can debate. And in those 3 session days, they can decide if it's a sham complaint. If it is a sham complaint, then they will not make a referral to the Committee on Justice. That is the safeguard that is in our Constitution as well as in the House Rules on Impeachment.
My counterpoint, I respectfully disagree. Kapag nailagay na sa order of business ang isang impeachment complaint, malinaw sa konstitusyon na it shall be referred to the Committee on Justice within 3 session days. Yung salitang shall ay hindi pwedeng baliwalain. It is mandatory. Wala nang discretion ang plenaryo para pigilan ang referral. At kung titinan natin ang Rules of Procedure in Impeachment Proceedings ng 19th Congress, walang makikitang rule na pwedeng busisiin muna ng plenaryo ang complaint bago ito i-refer. Wala pong ganoong kapangyarihan. The whole point is this. The Committee on Justice, not the plenary, is the body initially tasked to review kung sapat ba ito in form and in substance. Ngayon, kung susundin natin ang suggestion ni Attorney Francisco na ilagay agad sa order of business at i-refer sa committee within 3 session days, automatic deemed initiated na ang impeachment proceedings. At kapag initiated na, sarado na ang pinto para sa ibang complaints dahil sa 1-year bar rule. Ito po ang evil na gustong iwasan ng rules, kaya binibigyan ng House ng flexibility kung anong session day within the 10 session day limit ilalagay sa order of business. The practical idea is para ma-accommodate muna lahat ng possible complaints bago sabay-sabay i-initiate. Kaya tama lang po ang ginawa ng House na sa 10th session day nila nilagay sa order of business yung 3 complaints na na-file noong December 2024.
So it's very clear that once it is forwarded to the Committee on Justice, that's the only time the clock will start ticking. Is that correct, Attorney Francisco?
Yes, and that applies not only to an impeachment complaint that is filed by citizens and endorsed by a member or members of the House of Representatives, or an impeachment complaint that is filed by a member or members of the House of Representatives. That applies also to a situation where the impeachment complaint, as in the case of the 4th impeachment complaint, was filed by members of the House of Representatives comprising at least 1/3 of the House. And the proof of that is that it's in the rules of procedure in impeachment proceedings of the House.
Correct.
They did not follow their own rules on
Correct.
impeachment proceedings. In their attempt to avoid a hearing, they forgot that it's in the House rules on impeachment, that it should also be referred to the Committee on Justice. Why? Because the Committee on Justice has to check if that impeachment complaint, even if filed by 1/3 of the members of the House, it has to check if it is sufficient in form and substance. And by substance, we mean if the charges in that impeachment complaint are in the six charges, 6 impeachable offenses that are in our Constitution. They also have to check if it's really verified by the House. The provision of the Constitution that says that when a complaint is filed, an impeachment complaint is filed by at least 1/3 of the members of the House, then it shall be the articles of impeachment. It simply means that if it is filed by 1/3 of the members of the House, then that impeachment complaint will be the articles of impeachment. But it did not say that it will not go to the Committee on Justice, it will not be deliberated by the House, because an impeachment, the initiation of an impeachment proceeding, as well as the initiation of an impeachment case, which is the transmittal to the Senate, is the act of a House. The House has to vote.
My counterpoint, hindi po ganon ang sinasabi ng Constitution. Malinaw ang provision. It says, In case the verified complaint or resolution of impeachment is filed by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House, the same shall constitute the articles of impeachment and trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed. Ibig sabihin, kapag may pirma na ng 1/3 ng lahat ng miyembro ng House, automatic na itong nagiging articles of impeachment. Wala na pong committee stage, wala ng preliminary review, diretso na sa Senado para sa trial. Ano ba ang articles of impeachment? Ito ay ang formal written charge na isasampa laban sa isang public official para tanggalin siya sa pwesto. Parang charge sheet ito sa korte, pero imbes na sa criminal court isampa, dinadala ito sa Senado para sa impeachment trial. It's true that in Rule 2, Section 2 ng Rules of Procedure in Impeachment Proceedings, sinasabi doon na lahat ng modes ng impeachment ay dadaan sa Committee on Justice. Pero mismong Supreme Court sa bagong ruling nila on page 75, umamin o kinilala na yung requirement na i-refer muna sa committee ay para lang sa first mode, yung complaint na galing sa isang private citizen o isang House member lang. Bakit ko nasabi na para lang ito sa first mode? Kasi yung Section 3 ng Rule 2, which refers to the filing and referral of verified complaints, covers only the first mode. At yung mga susunod na rules tungkol sa committee proceedings, gaya ng checking kung sufficient in form and substance, pagbibigay ng pagkakataon sa respondent para magpaliwanag, at pagboto ng plenaryo, lahat yan ay para lang sa first mode. Kaya malinaw po, kung 1/3 na ng House ang pumirma, hindi na ito subject pa sa committee referral. Diretso na agad sa Senate for trial. Sinabi pa ni Attorney Francisco na the doctrine of operative facts does not apply daw because there was bad faith. My counterpoint, kumilos po ang House in good faith kasi sinunod nila ang existing jurisprudence sa Francisco versus House of Representatives at lahat ng constitutional deadlines. Under the doctrine of operative facts, kung ang opisyal ay kumilos ayon sa batas at sa good faith interpretation ng umiiral na rulings, hindi pwedeng retroactively baguhin ang rules para ipawalang bisa ang ginawa nila. Kung may bagong interpretation, dapat prospective ang application, meaning for future cases only. So yan lang po ang nais kong ibahagi today at see you in my next video. Maraming salamat po.